It is Wednesday night again. This is the Wednesday Night Mouse Party. I am Dave Voss, and tonight we have Gizzard Gary. How's it going, Gary?
Yo, 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 yo. Thanks for having me, man.
I appreciate you being here. And Guns and Barbecue, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Thank you for the invite. And how are you tonight, sir?
I'm doing all right. Doing all right. Pinned at the top of the chat is this week's poll. Anybody that hasn't voted in the poll, head over there and vote in the poll. Let me get the banner going because I remembered this week. At the bottom of the screen, there's an email address, contactthefoss@gmail.com, and a link for the Discord server. A place to hang out, chit chat, share memes, pictures. And the email address, you can send in comments, suggestions, or pictures within reason. Anything we talk about, agree with, disagree with, let me know. I read all the comments. I'll also leave a comment. I read all the comments, and they're always appreciated. And there's G-Webs. Good evening, G-Webs. How you doing?
Fair to Midland. Thanks for hosting.
Oh, no problem. And the picture I sent you on Instagrams, that was, you had said I don't remember whose chat it was on. You were talking about Scooby-Doo and helicopters, and that's the first thing I thought of was an AH-6 little bird and the Scooby-Doo gang.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
I had started out doing a Huey, but that was not what I had pictured to begin with, so I scrapped that and then went and did that. And I'm, of course, ordered stickers of them.
Oh, you did? Okay, cool.
Yeah, there was a deal on 4-inch stickers, so hopefully those are big enough you can see the detail in it. Garage guy. Oops. Gunmetal guy. Sorry. Garage guy's up there. There's a garage guy. Mr. Bob Dabalina. Gizzard Gary. Ozzy Orsborn.
Ark.
Yeah, and the sticker I gave Velma, I gave her like double D's.
Very nice.
Because you can't really see her. She's on the far side of the chopper.
Get the top off.
Yeah. I know, very sophomoric, but
I like it.
The garage guy said he's been jamming out. We be jamming.
Very nice.
What you got there?
You got junk in my trunk.
Some kind of factory lemon cheesecake thing.
Oh.
And a tiny fork. I thought it was lemon meringue.
That's what it looks like.
Sort of like cheesecake whipped.
Almost like a key lime. Yeah.
Yeah, but this isn't whipped cream. It's, like I say, more like a cheesecake type of situation.
Meringue, yeah.
No, it's not meringue. That's what I'm saying. This is like cheesecake instead of meringue. It's like a whipped cheesecake.
Oh, cool.
So it has like that cheesecake flavor.
Gross.
It's a little heavier than lemon meringue. Yeah, I was expecting lemon meringue.
That's what my mom.
Some kind of like, slurry cannon. It's just driving a conveyor belt and a bunch of nipples. Just drop this into the cup and went down a couple of 100 yards and then dropped a couple of whipped cream slurry or cheesecake slurry, I guess, and then probably child labor had to put crumbles on here or something.
Yeah, lemon meringue is what my mom likes. So she'd always have it for her birthday.
Yeah, I was thinking it'd be good this evening, but I've got kind of a sore throat. But I'm eating it.
Garage Guy said old 70s tunes. Can't complain. That's what I listen to mostly. Kind of 70s classic rock.
As you should.
I like oldies, but there aren't any. I guess I've talked about it before. There aren't really any good oldie stations anymore.
You mean like 50s?
50s, 60s. There is one. I think it used to be K-Bird. That it's still on, and they play like 40s and 50s. Kind of big band jazz kind of stuff.
I
Bing
like that stuff.
Crosby. It's pretty cool. And the owner, the guy who used to own K-Bird, he called his station K-Bird because he owned a parrot. I think it was a parrot. But he died years ago. He had cancer. I kind of met him.
Parrot did.
He did. I met
Oh.
him after he had his cancer, and he was basically waiting to die because he knew it was going to take him. And pretty cool guy. And he left. I'm not sure if he sold the station. I don't remember the details exactly, but he ended up, his employees, I don't know how many there were, but they got a split of about $1 million from him when he passed. But
So just useless fun fact, there is a two-way activist whose daughter enjoys 40s big band music. Like I said, it's useless fun fact, but fair to be a neat little way to tie in a little bit of two-way.
Isn't this the last? What's this called? The overnight? No, the mouse party. This is the last mouse party.
no, there'll be one more. So there'll be a mouse party next Wednesday, and then an overnight Saturday, and then from then on it'll be Saturday chats every Saturday night.
And then every other Wednesday.
No,
Every Wednesday. Okay, got it. Every Wednesday, every Saturday. We got it. Okay, let's all put that in our calendars.
At least I listen to us.
Just
I
trying
thought
to.
the same thing. So
and once again the last overnight, not this weekend, but the weekend after, will be the last overnight as it is before it switches over to the overnight mouse party. There'll be a big, moderate giveaway. The one set will be, I guess, I always forget to make myself big. So one set will be the little cards, fishing lures, and the go together so you can put the hooks on these lures. And then patches and stickers. And I think I'll probably dig through all the stuff that I bought for giveaways and forgot that I had. So I'll probably give some of that stuff away too once I find them. And then the other one will be these other cards. There's a set of 6 that come in a little felt pouch. And then there's the Don't Be a Cuntosaurus patch.
Love that patch.
We'll go
Is
with
that
one.
embroidered or PVC?
It's embroidered.
Okay, I found the right one then.
Where'd that come from?
Amazon. And then the See You in Hell we'll go with one of them. So that'll be not this weekend, but the weekend after. We'll do 2 prize packs and we'll give those
Won't
away.
that be Halloween? Literally.
No.
Halloween is on a Thursday this year, I think.
Oh. It's every second matter.
Ozzy said, wouldn't it be fun if there was a Sunday morning show?
Ew.
Shots fired.
I heard that there's one coming back in honor of the new Wednesday and Saturday shows.
Yeah, I heard the host isn't really doing anything anyways.
Huh, go figure.
Mr. Bob said 70s music was an interesting era from Baroque age rock to disco, something for everyone. I guess we can call up the poll here. Take a look at the poll. Look at my poll. It's not big, but it's mine. There we go. And this week's poll was best kind of ball. Baseball, Super Ball, popcorn ball, or D's balls. And of course, D's balls. Oop, let me refresh.
See that
this.
pool.
Let me refresh.
What day do you put these up?
I did it Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, because I forgot to do a poll. But D's balls, 40%, 28% baseball, 20% popcorn ball, 12% Super Ball.
I need a popcorn ball.
Yeah, for your polls, I usually don't. I'll see your post on Instagram and then have to go back and then find it.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I do that, because I don't think people see those things all the time.
It usually doesn't pop up in my feed.
Yours are the only ones that pop up in my feed.
But FUKUYT Mark 6 said rollerball. I haven't watched rollerball since the 80s.
I think his name is Fuck YouTube.
Oh, I'm guessing that's what he means.
I think so.
Because
I could be completely wrong. They're deleting my account tomorrow. Watch.
He's lost probably 5 accounts now. That's why he's Mark 6. That's James Caan. Kind of dystopia roller derby.
When all there's left is roller derby.
Jonathan.
Kevin Gwenzi said ball and chain.
Thought if you were gonna roller derby, like when you're not roller derby, you had to wear cut off flannel, wallet chain, have a buzz haircut. I think we all know what kind of person I'm talking about.
Fiend Dogs said, aha, got him. Gunmetal Guy USA said, Hostess Snowball. Fine Ape Cheese Ball. Krabby Turtle Coors Light Party Ball. Mark 6 said, Disco Ball. Mr. Bob said, freaking at the Freakers Ball, y'all. Baron SVG said, M2 Ball. Mark 6 said, winning Powerball is the best. New York Outcast, the lottery Powerball, of course. No one would be upset with that. And the Saint said Super Ball.
Nice.
Let me make sure I got all the comments there. For some reason, if I don't make sure it's on newest first, not all the comments show up. Like this, Guns and Waters didn't show up. It's a popcorn ball. We can still afford that. Tastes good. Isn't a dirty joke. Doesn't put loads of cash in the government's greedy fingers. Doesn't support dudes who shower together. And Mark 6 said blue balls are the worst. Amen. Did you like getting popcorn balls when you're trick-or-treating? I always found them disappointing.
Very.
Couldn't say anything because my grandma was usually the one that gave them out, and you had to be nice.
I've heard people, know people on the YouTubes that loved them when they were little. I didn't.
They're a fun thing to eat when you're watching TV or whatever.
Usually
didn't
they had
hate
a
'em.
bunch of syrup or something holding them together. So as long as
Yeah,
they were
marshmallow
gooey
or
enough, yeah.
Caramel, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I think they just burned sugar, right, and made them like that back in the day.
Yeah.
But because we never made them at home, so for me it was something that I didn't get at home, so I didn't mind it. Plus, I would only get like 2 or something on a. Trying to think like the most Halloween ever. The most candy or whatever, maybe 2 of those. So it wasn't like every block had one or something.
Yeah, there'd only be. It'd usually be an older lady. You'd get one around our neighborhood. One that did popcorn balls, and then one that would do like bag of mixed nuts or something like that.
Or like the spider rings. Those were the worst. Worse than a popcorn ball.
No, I didn't mind spider rings, but I do find this kind of amusing because you guys grew up in an age where people were actually making the popcorn balls, and I grew up in an age where you could just go buy popcorn balls.
That's the thing. Because you could probably, if I thought about it, you'd probably go to some lady's house because she made good popcorn balls, where somebody else didn't, kind of thing.
And even prepackaged popcorn ball, I think probably more disappointing. Like the homemade ones, that might not be bad, but
I
What's
don't know.
worse, a popcorn ball or a caramel apple?
Popcorn ball.
I never like eating them apple.
I did it. They're. I don't know. If you made them yourself, they sucked because as soon as you take a bite, all the caramel comes off. But if you bought them, usually they're stuck. And I've never had a candied apple. They're not a West Coast thing.
Yeah, me either. I've seen them, but I wouldn't want to eat one if I've seen them.
We have them over here.
They look like they just turn into a mess right away as soon as you start eating them.
I just like a regular apple. I don't get caramel apples. I don't get candied apples. I've been tempted to try one of the cinnamon apples, which I guess you could say is kind of like a cross between the caramel apple and the candy apple, because it's kind of sticky like the caramel apple, but it's more of a candy cinnamon. So, and they always smell awesome, but I'm just like, it looks like a giant mess. And
on a stick.
Yep.
Tulai Moo's out there. He said we egged houses that gave us popcorn balls. Assholes. Larry Knopf is out there.
You know them things that you can smash an apple with and it cores it right away and it turns it into wedges? Yeah. Like they should do that. Put each of them on a fucking stick and then caramel them and peanut them, and then everybody would eat them. But making it a stupid apple, like, come on, who the hell can eat an apple? And then you got to eat it with all that crap on it. It's impossible.
There's a caramel dip you can buy it's smooth enough that you can dip a apple slice in it. Yeah, it's pretty good. I don't remember what brand you see around here. Miss Bob said, Merbs, candy apples are a huge thing here, only available in October. Larry Knopf is out there too. Good evening.
If it was chewy candy like taffy or something, maybe. But if it's like, the ones I've seen are like glass candy, where you bite it and it seems like it just shatters all off.
The one at the county fair, like I said, it doesn't like shatter completely off, but it spider cracks the whole way around it, and like little pieces fall off and stuff. Like I said, I don't get them. I've never liked them even when I was a kid, and that goes for all of the selections. But having watched people eat them and whatnot, I'm still like, nope, because they are a mess.
AAF, American Ammo and Firearms, is out there. He's punching people in the
Okay.
eyeballs. Yeah, Larry just started a new job. How's it going over there, Larry? So barbecue.
Yes.
Your generation did you still see ribbon candy around?
I've heard of ribbon candy, but I'm not sure what ribbon candy is. Describe it to me.
It looks like a ribbon. It looks like a folded, not.
Let's say you
folded
took
flat.
some toothpaste, some of that AIM toothpaste that has a ribbon in it, and then you squirted some of it out in kind of an S shape, and then it got hard, and it was candy.
Yeah, but kind of more flat.
A little
And
bit
then when there's a bowl of it, you pick one piece up, and all the other pieces come with it because they're stuck together.
You know
I
what it
want
is?
to
It's where
say
they
that.
take a big glob of sugar and they stretch it, and then when it starts to get hard, they snap it or whatever, and it falls apart. It's that kind of candy where it's like literally just sugar, but colored or whatever, or maybe flavored.
Yeah, I want to say yes to this. It sounds very familiar.
Dude, you know what? I bet you Amish people eat that or make it. Because it's just sugar and like maybe like berry flavoring or something. I assume you live all amongst the Amish.
Oh, there's a few. A few more than I care to admit.
Here's what ribbon candy looks like. Oh, share that. Get rid of that. And
Yep.
it can be different colors.
And then it'll taste like mint or peppermint or maybe other flavor.
Yeah,
Basically a candy cane that's not rolled into a candy cane.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we've had that. Kind of like a taffy, almost.
No, it's hard.
No, it's
like a
hard
candy
candy.
That's the best way to describe it. It's like a candy cane that they squirted out in a different way.
Gotcha. I mean, like I said, I've seen it. I was many moons younger, but then again, I mean, it's been a very long time since I've seen it. I mean,
But back in the old days, grandmas would have that out, I guess, because
Yeah.
it was like hospitable or whatever. It was like a nice thing to do.
I was gonna say, I think I was like maybe 5 or 6 when I would have seen that.
Those were replaced by like butterscotches and the peppermints that are round, like individually wrapped in plastic, or sometimes like those round balls of lemon flavor.
Won't lie, I think butterscotches are underrated.
Which one?
Butterscotches.
Oh, butterscotches are awesome, dude.
I
I
know.
like even the cheap ones, but like an expensive one is like a whole nother thing. It's like a cheap cheesecake versus a good cheesecake. Like a good butterscotch, holy moly.
Yeah, butterscotches are friggin' awesome.
I liked them when I was a kid, but I don't like them anymore. Same with candy canes. I don't.
Well, you don't like
candy
butter?
canes.
You don't like scotch? It's a perfect combination.
No, it's like the root beer barrels. I used to love those as a kid, but now I can't. I can't.
They're
eat them.
not as good as they once were. I feel like they changed something.
Well, they say that like our ears get older and we don't hear the same noises and our eyes get bad. So maybe our taste buds just get different. We don't like the same shit as when we were kids.
They say your taste changes every 10 years.
Oh, it does? Okay.
Really? I've never heard that.
I don't know if that's they're speaking metaphorically or physically.
I believe that's true.
No, I believe it's true also because as a kid, I never liked cooked cabbage. I never liked cherries, um, asparagus, anything like that. Uh, love all that stuff now.
I wouldn't eat peas as a kid or tuna. And then about 10, 15 years ago, all of a sudden, it's like, I can eat this stuff now. It doesn't make me gag. I don't know what changed, but
I was still not eating no peas.
As a kid,
peas are great.
I didn't care for peas as a kid, but if we're having them, I would eat those first just to get them out of the way. And now I do kind of like them.
Better with a little butter on them.
Bleh.
Mm-hmm.
Ozzy said peanut brittle. I've never liked peanut brittle.
What? Holy moly!
What's wrong with
That's
you,
another
man?
one. I even like cheap, shitty peanut brittle. Like that's a good thing.
I'm not sure if I've ever had peanut brittle.
Really?
What?
Yep.
It looks like vomit. It looks like a bunch of.
I know what it is and what it looks like.
Okay.
I just never had it.
Oh, you're eating like a Heath bar? It's in some candy bars. Just don't think about it.
Oh, well, in that case, then I may have, but
I think it's in a Heath bar, isn't it? Isn't that basically peanut brittle in there?
I don't like Heath bars.
I haven't ate one of them in forever.
Moo said at 800 years old, Gary eats peas, and he called you Yoda.
I like eating peas
They're
because they don't
delicious.
hurt my gums.
That's right. You barely have to chew them. They're so mushy.
peas are delicious, but I don't eat peas as much anymore because they're such a starchy vegetable.
I don't love them, but I kind of like them. Fresh peas are better than cooked
I-
peas.
I'm gonna say good snow pea.
The best ones are like the Green Giant. If you can get their green peas with pearl onions, those are good.
Not sure I've seen those, but you had me at pearl onions.
Anything with onions in it's good.
If you read
Yep.
the fine print, the canned peas are actually corn testicles. They're selling them as canned peas, though.
Well, I love them corn nuts.
Sounds
They
good.
pass them off as peas, but they're corn testicles.
Corn testicles and pearl necklaces.
Wow.
You can ask Pat about it. They have a big machine that comes through and castrates all the corn about mid-year.
Oh, I had
Who's
an
the-
interesting interaction at work yesterday. It's kind of near the end of the shift, and there's a guy that he's on light duty, and he tries and works hard, but he was making some mistakes, and I just had never felt like dealing with it. And I had a little extra time today, so I was like, well, shit, I'll kind of cover some of the stuff with him, which was a huge mistake. Was soon as I don't know if he didn't like being corrected, he didn't like being told what to do, but as soon as I started talking, he got pissed. And I wasn't, I was just pointing out, hey, when you do this, do it this way, because I never choose somebody out on a first correction or even the second correction. Usually, it's the third or fourth. If you're still not doing it, then I'll ream them. But yeah, and he's a nice guy, and we got along and would talk about guns and stuff, because he's the other gun guy. There's a couple other guys, but he was one of the guys considered a gun guy. But oh man, he just went off, and I tried to tell him, hey, I'm not saying you're doing something bad. I know you're trying to do a good job, Didn't want to listen.
It's like, hey, can you stack the boxes over here instead of putting them by the door? Or is it more than that?
Yeah, kind of like that, Don't pull stuff from in back, and well, show me, It's like, well, I can't show you. I've already gone through and kind of fixed what was wrong. But he didn't want to hear any of it anyway. So unfortunate.
So is it possible that he had issue with it because since you guys would BS about guns, stuff like that, he thought he was on a higher level with you where that shouldn't have happened?
I can do no wrong mode.
It could have been. I don't know, because I was taken by surprise by the whole interaction, and there was another employee that kind of heard what was going on, and he kind of big eyes looking at me, and I'm like, "Ah, for fuck's sakes, I don't know." And eventually, I just kind of walked away because didn't matter what I said.
Is this like in the break room, or like is this like in the break room, or like right in the middle of the produce?
It was out on the floor. The other problem was there's a customer standing right next to us. So, and it's all stuff that shouldn't happen in front of customers.
Definitely should have stomped the groin.
Mr. Bob said, I've heard the hardest time of the year for farmers is emptying the corn sap buckets to make corn syrup.
Well, the real issue is having to jerk off all those ears of corn so you can fill the buckets.
A lot of the corn farmers will buy the old drive-in movie screens so they can put up corn porn for that to help make that
now,
easier.
if you ever get to shake hands with Pat in a bunker, you'll know why his grip is so strong.
Millions of corn handies.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest industries for little people. All those little hands. Mr. Bob said that'll get you carpal tunnel syndrome. Moo said those damn barbecue reviews will get you every time. He's a waffle stomper from the old days. I never had a pair of waffle stompers. When I was younger, I always wanted them because that was the big boot to have.
I don't know. What
Never
that means.
got some. Oh, it's a style of boot. The waffle stomper was a pattern on the soles. That's not what he's talking about, but that just reminded me. Waffle stompers and moon boots. Not the bouncy shoe moon boots, but the puffy winter boots. You've never heard of waffle stompers?
Nope.
I don't think so. About a month ago, I found some moon boots at a thrift store. I took a picture of them. I was surprised that they even exist anymore. With like the rubber and the foam, usually that stuff like dry rots and falls apart. These were used, but like somebody must have had them in a like ideal storage situation. I don't think so. They seemed old.
These are waffle stompers.
Oh, we would call them Colorado, I think, right? Colorado hikers or something like that. Yeah, I couldn't afford them. I eventually got a pair and then was like, damn it. As soon as I bought them, I got out to Wyoming and I was walking around in them and I'm like, what the hell did I buy these for? These are the worst shoes ever. Or boots, I guess. Hated them. Never bought them again.
We had boots similar to this, but a little higher. These are like mids, but
yeah, mine were a little bit taller, I think, too.
Yeah, when I worked at the shipyard, and they were okay. They weren't the most comfortable, and if you turned your ankle,
Yeah.
you were screwed.
And they were like walking with roller skates. Like
Yeah.
they were just the first of those soles. But as soon as they figured out that they can make those soles out of better materials, like they were way lighter shoes.
For a while I wore I don't know if you remember the insoles that were liquid.
Hmm.
They
I
were
never had.
really comfortable. Instantly made my feet stop hurting. But I jumped down from I was working on it was basically the conning tower off a sub. And we're working on that. And I jumped off. I was only like 3 feet up, jumped down, popped them. Those liquid inserts. So I quit wearing them because of that.
I wouldn't wear them because at any time I might need to do an improvisational tap dance, and I feel like that would interfere with that.
They took a little getting used to that squishy feeling, but they were really comfortable. I bought a pair, I don't know, 10, 15 years after that. I didn't find them as comfortable. I don't know if they weren't built the same. I bought them actually at the fair. One of the booths at the fair was selling them. So I don't know if they were just a low quality copy or my feet just didn't like them anymore.
Well, we're used to wearing around shoes that don't weigh nothing nowadays. And those things weigh a ton. You're talking about those waffle stomper things still?
Oh, I meant the inserts.
Oh.
But that happened like with the when I had a Sobakawa pillow, as seen on TV, the corn husks pillow. I loved it. Once you kind of get used to that rustling sound that
You
it
mean
made,
the buckwheat husks or whatever? Something like
yeah,
that?
they were. It was. I thought it was really comfortable, and then eventually the little husks worked their way out of the pillow.
Oh, really? I was going to say they probably crush or something, right?
Yeah, and so I bought one again, like 10 years later, and I couldn't stand it.
Oh, really? I think I
Yeah,
slept on one once and I thought it was pretty good. But it was only the one time or, somebody's house or something. I usually don't use a pillow. I don't believe in them.
my wife is like that. I don't know how. I can't sleep without a pillow.
I like
Why?
to just hold my head above the mattress.
That's how you get a sore neck.
It's like doing a plank. No, I just use something to put there. I just don't want a whole giant pillow, like a towel or piece of blanket or something. Little tiny pillow. I grew up in a household where there was too many damn pillows around, so I'm anti-pillow for the most part now. Unless it's like a utilitarian pillow needed for some medical reason. I don't want a pillow around me. All right, well, any movies then? No?
No, I forgot to watch Night of the Comet again. I remember when we're talking, and then as soon as we're done, I'll forget about the movie. I've been still watching the Sherlock. something else I was going to bring up, and I don't remember what it was. I really need to start writing stuff down.
China?
No. Larry's asking which Sherlock. The one with Cumberbatch. Kind of rewatching that one.
What year was it made? 14?
Oh, I'm not sure. 2010. Oh, I didn't realize it was that old. Because I didn't see it when it first came out. It was maybe 5 years ago that I had watched a bunch of episodes. Ones that I don't know where I was watching it, but I saw a bunch of the episodes, and then now I was going from the start through the series.
And this is where, oh man, what's that guy? That other guy is Watson or whatever. And then he was in the GWAT.
Yeah, Martin Freeman.
And the guy's addicted to cocaine or something, or heroin.
Well, in the one with Cumberbatch, he had cigarettes. In the original one, it was cocaine. A 7.
With cigarettes, really?
Yeah, 7% solution for the original Sherlock. Just enough to get him going.
Oh, I thought he was doing drugs or something in the one you're talking about.
No, because they always talk about cigarettes.
Oh, maybe I just assumed it was like opium cigarettes or something.
Bob said there was a strange Sherlock Holmes movie on the other night, The 7% Solution. It was Holmes, Watson, and Sigmund Freud.
Huh. Made for TV movie?
I'm not sure.
I've seen a lot of what do you call them? It says it's a 1976 film by Herbert Ross. British-American mystery based on...
Who was in it? Was it a Basil Rathbone one? Or
Oh, I clicked on the picture instead of the thing. Hold on. You mean like actors? Starring
Yeah.
Nicole Williamson, Robert
I don't
Duvall,
know. Robert
Alan
Duvall.
Arkin. Yeah, Alan Arkin. I've heard of those names before.
Yeah, I guess it's an American version. Is Alan
It says,
Arkin?
British American. Well, British American. Directed by Ross, written by Nicholas Meyer, based on Meyer's 1974 novel. So it says Watson becomes convinced that his friend Holmes is delusional, particularly in the belief that Moriarty is a criminal mastermind, and that's as a result of his addiction to cocaine. Interesting. I don't know if I've seen it or not, because I'm only
I
looking
have
at
not
the cover.
seen it.
It's a strange, you're saying it's a strange one.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know.
Pinewood Studios in London. So I think I've heard of that before.
What role does Alan Arkin play in Robert Duvall?
Oh, I'll tell you over here. Alan Arkin is Sigmund Freud, and Duvall is Watson.
Oh, that's it.
Sherlock Holmes is Nicole Williamson.
I can't
Oh,
see
I've seen
Duvall
that.
as being a good Watson. Or Alan Arkin being a good Sigmund Freud.
I've seen this guy before, but I guess he was in The Exorcist. No, he was only in The Exorcist 3. Return to Oz. Is that a good movie? Excalibur. He was Merlin in Excalibur. If you remember watching Excalibur in 1981,
Yeah.
he was Merlin. That's the guy who's Sherlock Holmes.
I can kind of see that.
No, he was in Spawn. He was some guy in Spawn. That was his final film role. Oh, he's been in Columbo. That's where I've seen him before. If I was going to watch a TV show again, I'd probably watch Columbo. Well, Columbo would be on my short list at least.
I don't know. I didn't care for Columbo. I didn't hate it, but
One more thing. What happened to the carpet that was in this room? Oh, before I go, let me ask just one more thing. What happened to that cowboy hat you used to have hanging on that hook over there?
yeah, what's his name? Peter Falk. I liked him as an actor. I just didn't care for Columbo.
You had that one dog. That was pretty good part of it. You know, he always had that car he was getting in trouble with. I feel like Gizzard and Barbecue are going to get they're going to get half the earnings off of this show, and they're not even lifting half the weight.
I would probably watch Beretta before I watched Columbo.
I haven't watched Brendan enough times. Well, you know what else, though? Columbo is in California. So I like watching when they drive around and do stuff in California back in the 70s. Beretta was in New York, and it's not as interesting to me. It's kind of interesting, but not as interesting.
Well, Columbo drove that
stuff.
goofy convertible.
Yeah. But they would be like at houses and things that, you know, you've seen in other movies, because Columbo was like done on a budget, and they just did it, you know, the same house you'd see at the Brady Bunch or Emergency, or, you know, like half of those shows on TV would be filmed at the same places. They probably did the same thing in New York. I just didn't pay attention.
I don't know. Columbo was cooler.
What? Than Beretta?
Yeah.
I
No.
think so.
No way. I mean, Peter Falk didn't kill his wife, but
Ouch.
That's true.
Was that a thing that guy did, or the actor did? I mean?
yeah.
But those weren't by far the coolest detectives on TV.
I like Quincy a lot. You guys like Quincy?
Yeah. As a kid, I loved Quincy.
Like my
Banachek.
grandma watched Quincy, so I
Banachek.
watched all. Oh yeah, Banachek was pretty good. I'd never seen Banachek until way later. So, but my grandma watched Quincy, so I've seen every Quincy when it was on.
I liked Heart to Heart.
Yeah, I've seen probably all those, but that had a hot chick in it, so that doesn't count.
And unfortunately, another guy who might have killed his wife.
Which one? Robert Wagner?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He
Yeah,
threw his
his-
wife off a boat or something.
Yeah. Larry
we
said,
went out on a boat together. No, she wasn't with me when we came back. No, I don't know what happened. And they're like, okay, well, you want to be in the next movie? Okay, let's keep going.
Larry asked Airwolf or Blue Thunder. I say Blue Thunder.
Blue Thunder. I never liked Airwolf that much. I think it was the old guy in Airwolf that bothered me.
What?
Is that the diabetes guy?
No.
Wasn't there an
No,
old guy
that's,
in Airwolf that was always telling him shit, like telling him what to do?
Yeah, he's a war hero.
Yeah.
World War
Air
II.
Force. Who, in real life, you mean? Or
Yeah,
in
he's a badass in real life.
Oh. Harry Klugman? No. Who was that guy?
No.
Oh, no, who he was? He was some sheriff. He was like, he wasn't Roscoe.
No, he was McHale's Navy. He was
Yeah,
McHale.
I remember him as being a cop in some show. He was like a cop in a comedy, I think.
Who are we talking about now?
Ernest Borgnine.
Oh yeah.
The guy who was in Airwolf, like the old guy. No, I didn't know anything about that. I just didn't like him in that movie because he was, or in that show because he's always telling that other guy what to do. Well, I guess I didn't watch that show, so I don't know what was going on. I assume he was always telling that one guy what to do, maybe. Where Blue Thunder, the guy was just rogue. He was just doing what he felt like and flying upside down. And, well, I guess Airwolf could fly silently also. Like Airwolf was the ripoff of Blue Thunder, wasn't it?
Kind of.
Like Blue Thunder was first. And then Airwolf was like, oh, we can make a TV show about this.
Well, they did make a TV show out of Blue Thunder too, because there's the movie and then they did a TV show.
Oh, okay.
Because they
Blue
changed.
Thunder was an Apache, and Airwolf was like a Learjet version of a helicopter or whatever. It wasn't like didn't look menacing or anything.
In
it was
Blue
like
Thunder,
air
they
traffic.
changed.
It was like the traffic newscopter version of Blue Thunder.
They in the TV show they changed Jaffo from, in the movie it was just another fucking observer, and then in the TV show they changed it to freaking, because the sidekick, they nicknamed him Jaffo but didn't tell him what it meant for a while. This helmet said Jaffo on it. Mr. Bob said Alec Baldwin got a new TV show or new show recently.
Top Shot. Too soon.
Slop Shot. I don't know. I hadn't heard.
He's the new host of Top Shot. Nobody wants to participate anymore.
Whoever survives. It's a mix of Top Shot and Survivor.
He goes to grab the gun to demonstrate something. Everybody runs. So did you see what happened? I forget what state it was in, but some state where somebody was demonstrating that they're a Democrat that shoots guns for the reporter.
Gary talked about it on his
And he
chat.
shot the reporter in the arm. Oh, okay. What state was that in?
Missouri.
Crazy.
Mr. Bob said he's doing the match game, trying to do a Gene Rayburn, but he won't watch. Just seen commercials for it.
Oh, with that guy, he's creepy. Yeah, it would be like a creepy dude to be doing the show like that.
Yeah.
You need a big fat guy who's jolly for a show like that. Or you know who would be good? That one fat girl who does comedy shows. Oh man, she's in a bunch of movies and she's funny. She's probably not fat anymore, but she used to be fat for a while.
Rosie O'Donnell?
No, she's good. She's not horrible.
If it's the same one, she was on.
She did one where she was like stalking some guy, and the guy was from one of those shows. Oh man, I can't even know her. I can't think of a movie she was even in. She probably
she
like
was in the
like
all female Ghostbusters.
Yeah, she was probably in that one. She's probably less fat in that one than she was in the other movies. But anyway, you know what I'm talking about, right? Like she'd be good as like that role.
Yeah.
Like be able
Melissa
to
McCarthy?
be.
Yes, Melissa McCarthy. Thank you.
Able to be like improvisationally funny, maybe.
Yeah, she did lose a bunch of weight. I don't know if she's still skinny or not, but she had lost a bunch of weight.
Yeah, that guy, I just seen that it was like somebody got shot at first, and I was like, dang it, now they're going to blame it on gun owners. And then I figured out that he wasn't even a Republican or whatever. He's a Democrat or something. And then I started seeing the people that are zooming in on the picture, and they're like, why is there tannerite on the table? And why are they shooting at a thing that's like 7 feet away? And why are they shooting it with ARs with this massive scope on it? And why is he chicken winging it? And why is his eye pro up on his head? Like they were just wailing on the guy.
I don't know. Maybe he was watching FPS Russia videos.
Those were some pretty crazy ones back in the day.
Eb Gabriel said, way not to wear iPro while shooting steel at 7 yards. Gary pointed that out where the guy had his iPro up on his head.
Yeah.
Not on his eyes.
Mhm. Yeah. Shooting with a scope from 10 yards with an AR.
Have a good night, Larry.
Yep, take it easy.
With Tannerite sitting on the table. Great idea.
Oh.
Are there any
barbecue.
games?
What's that?
Sorry, were you about to start the bracket? I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, we can't do the bracket. I'm out of toner, and since it's a surplus Russian, it uses the kerosene-based toner. It's really hard to find.
I've heard you could just take rat poison and mix it with some turpentine.
Oh, you got to get the mixture just right, otherwise it gets hot and could explode. So I prefer to buy it. What TV shows did you watch as a kid, Barbecue?
Trying to think.
All the good ones.
Yeah. Mainly just cartoons. Yeah, there is Rugrats, Rocket Power, Angry Beavers. That was a good one. Now I got Angry Beavers that live next to me, ironically.
I've only even ever heard of Rugrats, and I've never heard of it, or seen any of these. Was Rugrats on Nickelodeon?
SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard of
so.
SpongeBob.
All of these are Nickelodeon shows. SpongeBob, Cat Dog, Doug. Doug was a really good one. So was Cat Dog. And there was another
I
one.
was pretty much
the
grown
baby.
up when those were on, and I didn't like the shitty animation on any of those shows.
I just didn't have time. I was working and stuff. I didn't have time to sit around watching that much stuff. There was a lot of TV on back in those days too. Like a lot of
Real
options.
Monsters was awesome.
What's the baby Bugs Bunny and all them called? Looney Tunes? No, Tiny Toons. Was that a thing still when you were around watching TV?
Yeah, Looney Tunes. Watched plenty of Looney Tunes, Tiny Toons.
There was a
Darkwing
Muppet
Duck.
one too.
Well, I know that the Toons one, they really pushed that for a while. Like the Tiny Toons, they seemed like that was super popular for a long time.
Animaniacs.
That's the one I'm thinking of.
Best thing about Animaniacs was Pinky and the Brain.
I did like Pinky and the Brain.
Trying to think of some of the Cartoon Network stuff. Old Scooby-Doo reruns, those are always good.
There's a lot of Scooby-Doos, so they're not all good. Like Scrappy? Do you like Scrappy-Doo ones?
Didn't see too many of them.
I probably didn't replay them. There was some that they just didn't
okay.
put a lot of effort. They kind of phoned them in for a while, I think.
The
see,
Scrappy
that's
Doo,
something else.
the cousin Oliver of the dog world.
I watched a shit ton of Nick at Night. So like Brady Bunch, Happy Days, I Dream of Jeannie, Bewitched.
Ugh, you voluntarily watched that?
Oh, I love those shows. I thought they were fucking great.
I had to watch we had to watch this when we were little because that was back in the days there was no options.
I watched all those too. Elizabeth Montgomery, I had a crush on her when I was younger. Mr. Bob said Rocky and Bullwinkle, Underdog, Tennessee Tuxedo. I never watched Tennessee Tuxedo. Top Cat, I loved
Really?
Top Cat. Captain Kangaroo, Romper Room, Roger Ramjet. Didn't watch Roger Ramjet either.
Romper Room was a little baby show, so I don't know about that one. But the that whatever those other ones were on at lunchtime. So at least for a while, like I only got to see those like when you're sick or when there was no school. But like, you know, when you'd be able to be home at lunchtime, those were the shows. So they were pretty awesome.
He also said Beanie and Cecil. Never heard of that.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Sherry Lewis and Lamb Chop. I always found her kind of annoying.
Yeah.
I had a
That's for babies.
cousin who was mentally retarded, bedridden, with cerebral palsy. But that was like her show. When that song would come on, the song that never ends, she'd start kicking and making all kinds of noise. Like that was her jam.
Yeah, I used to love all the Sid and Marty Krofft weirdness.
We never got them. I never even seen those until I was older.
Ozzy said Barbara Eden was his crush. Yes. I watched an interview with her, and she talked about with her outfit, they were only allowed to reveal her belly button a certain amount of times per episode. So they had to be careful.
So Genie or Bewitched?
Between the two, I would Bewitched.
Yeah. Watched a shit ton of Gilligan's Island too.
Yeah. I loved Gilligan's Island as a kid, and then as I got older, I thought they should have drowned Gilligan.
You think they would?
He's the reason they didn't get off the island sooner.
Or just take him to the part of the island where the cannibals were.
Fed him to the giant spider.
Something.
Yeah, but he was kind of useful because he was a slave boy. They could make him do all the hard labor and stuff. So he was the only young one on the bunch.
I liked him better in Far Out Space Nuts.
I liked him better on the Adventures of Dobie Gillis, personally.
Oh, is Maynard? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Beatnik.
Mm-hmm.
I watched that as a kid. Well, reruns of it.
As a classic.
Watched a bunch of Ernest movies when I was a kid.
I've never watched an Ernest movie.
Don't.
I watched one and that was enough. Never again.
I thought they were great when I was a kid. I tried watching one recently and I was like, oh, this is rough.
You know, the orange juice commercials were humorous, but I never felt the need to see more of his work. If you didn't know, that's where that character came from, was orange juice commercials.
Nope. I had no idea.
Yeah. Hey, Vern. Then he talk about orange juice.
God,
I don't think you ever
Florida.
saw Vern.
And I was like, where's the beef? It just caught on or whatever. There's probably also like tax breaks. Or tax shelters back in the day. You could, leverage losses against gains. So you would do things. Some of these movies and projects and things were tax for shelters, I think.
Mr. Bob said the banana splits. I love the banana splits. And
That's where you got Miguel the Gorilla and what's his name? Who's the Kung Fu guy?
Dickies. The Dickies do a great cover of the banana split songs.
Hong Kong Phooey. That's where you got Hong Kong Phooey.
Hong Kong Boo is pretty good.
Yeah, you only got like Hong Kong Phooey like 1 out of 8 times. Like if you're lucky, once a week, but not even, if I remember right. And they never got Hong Kong Phooey enough.
Also, really enjoyed Yogi growing up.
Yeah, Yogi was all right.
Mr. Bob also said Lidsville.
Also, really like the Jetsons when I was growing up.
Yeah, and I liked Flintstones, but the older I got, the less I liked it.
Love the Flintstones.
Same with the Honeymooners.
I don't know if I liked them less or I just seen them enough times that there was no joy in watching the Flintstones anymore because I'd seen them all a million times.
Well, I got tired of Fred Flintstone's yelling, which
I
it's
hear
a cartoon version of the Honeymooners. At the same time, I also got tired of the Honeymooners because of what's his face yelling.
I don't like watching a guy be mean to his wife. That's not funny to me. Yeah.
Ozzy said Hogan's Heroes. I loved Hogan's Heroes.
Yeah, I remember that was like a Saturday thing. We'd only get like 1 or 2 of those a week.
Oh. Probably my favorite Nick at Night show was Cheers.
Ugh.
I liked Cheers when it was the first run, but I didn't watch them in rerun.
I can't watch them anymore. Like, I don't know what the hell was wrong with me watching it when I was young, but that was the thing to do back then. You didn't have no choice. You watched the popular TV shows because we were little and we didn't have any, we just were told. We did what we were told. But I tried watching, or I think I seen it on YouTube or something. Like somebody was saying something about Woody or whatever, and there's a laugh track. Like, it's so weird and awkward watching people on a sound stage talk and then pause for a laugh track and then start talking again. Like, it just seems so weird.
I can't remember what show it was, but people had complained about the laugh track. It was a popular show, and people loved the show but hated the laugh track, so they complained. So they removed the laugh track, and then people complained that it wasn't as funny as it used to be.
Well, what happens is, and then it changes the pace of it. And if you're at home laughing because something was funny, you miss dialogue. The laugh track is so that everybody can laugh and not miss anything, I guess.
Abigail Sorsha Finnegan's out there. Said I caught an episode of A-Team yesterday. I did love the A-Team. I hated that nobody died.
I wonder if that would hold up, like if it's still good. I don't remember. I had fond memories of it, but I don't know if I ever scrutinized it,
The M60 and the Mini 14s will hold up, but the fact that there's rollover crashes all the time and people just walk away. Mr. Bob said Gumby and Pokey, Davy and Goliath on Sunday mornings. I know I've never watched Davy and Goliath. I know about the show. Gumby I didn't care for.
I was not a big Gumby kid.
I'm
But
Gumby,
speaking of
damn it.
Goliath, I friggin' love Gargoyles.
Yes.
That show
That
was
was-
awesome.
That was along with Batman the Animated Series. Those were 2 really good cartoons.
Yes. Gargoyle. I haven't tried watching Batman the Animated Series recently, but Gargoyles still holds up.
Yeah, the guy that voiced Batman recently died. It's earlier this year, I think.
I vaguely remember something about that now that you're mentioning it.
Abigail said, I used to watch Black Sheep. I liked Black Sheep.
Pappy
Um,
Boyington.
Pappy Boyington, he went to high school in Washington. I think in Tacoma.
But Black Sheep was from like the 70, maybe the mid 80s, and Nick's or NCIS is from 2000 something.
Yeah, I didn't watch NCIS.
I watch those. I
I've
kind of
spoke-
I binge watch those things whenever you could first watch stuff online, and I was like, oh, okay, I can see why these are interesting, but they're so formulaic. Is that the word? Like, you know, it's about to, you see it. Well, a lot of times you see the thing happening and you're just watching them figure it out. So it's just, you only have to see it once. There's not much. It's not like some of the old ones we were talking about originally, Columbo. You don't always know what happens. Sometimes you know what happens on Columbo, but there's a reason to watch Columbo to the end, like it's not always like that with some of these new shows to me.
I've been interviewed by an NCIS officer before, many years ago.
Because of having so much semen stains all over everything.
Scary's fault.
This is a hell of a lot of semen stains all over. Let's take this guy.
Bob said nobody mentioned Johnny Quest, the inspiration for Venture Brothers. I loved Venture Brothers because it's a callback to Johnny Quest.
I tried watching a Venture Brothers movie and I got lost and I couldn't figure out what the hell was going on. Krebs, who makes AKs up in Illinois, keeps posting. What was that one you said there? Johnny Quest. They keep showing Johnny Quest guns, like the different guns that What's His Face was using, which is kind of neat. Johnny Quest for me was on at like 6 a.m. after the Corn Report. So unless you woke up or maybe at 4 a.m. after the Corn Report was on and before the news started. So unless you woke up ass early, you were never going to see Johnny Quest. Same with Lancelot Link. Once I seen all the Lancelot Links, I quit getting up early.
It was on for us Saturday mornings was Johnny Quest, kind of early. And Lancelot Link I watched on TBS. I don't remember what time of day, but that was in the 80s.
Way later. Yeah. I'm thinking when I was a little kid, and when you were a little kid, you weren't allowed to just watch TV whenever. But if you got up at 4 a.m., nobody was around to tell you not to watch whatever. It was Johnny Quest. And was there another one with the mouth that moved, or was it just that the only one? Because I feel like there was another show that was with Johnny Quest in the mornings like that wasn't Johnny Quest.
I don't
remember. It was so long ago. But I remember waking up to watch that show because it was creepy and they had guns and stuff. And it was cool. Like, it was way cooler than any other cartoon, even though it was like super old. And then whenever I seen that first Lancelot Link, I almost freaked the fuck out, I'm sure. The TV show with monkeys was on.
Abigail said NCIS is the reason I suspect my dad is autistic. It's his comfort series. I like how mine is Cafe Latte on TikTok. I don't Cafe Latte or TikTok. Yeah, Mr. Bob said Griselda's Henry Rifle's name is Hank after Hank Venture. Go Team Venture.
Oh, Clutch Cargo is a different show. That was the other one then. Or wait, is Johnny Quest the one with the mouth that moved, or am I getting them mixed up?
I'm not sure what you mean by mouth that moved.
You've seen Clutch Cargo? That's the show I'm thinking of.
I've heard the name, but I don't recall what it is.
It's where they have the animation where there's a face, but then instead of having a mouth that moves, it's like super creepy, and it's just a video. It's like a movie of some guy's mouth moving with makeup on.
Oh, yeah, that must be Clutch Cargo because that's not Johnny Quest.
Oh, okay. I thought Johnny Quest was the same way. Okay. But those were on in the early mornings back then. So I'd seen some of them, but there was no way to watch them all because how could you? There was no way to wake up as a little kid. You didn't have alarm clocks or nothing back then.
Abigail said she used to watch Supernatural as a kid. Never watched it.
Some other awesome shows from when I was a kid: Walker Texas Ranger, Unsolved Mysteries, Rescue 911.
I watched Unsolved Mysteries. I did like that. I never watched a full episode of Walker. Just bits and pieces. Never got into it.
Oh, and Tales from the Crypt.
Lone Wolf McQuade is one of the best movies ever made, but I never watched Walker because it was like a bastardization of it.
I had a problem with that too. I would rather watch Firewalkers than Lone Wolf McQuade, personally.
What? Firewalkers?
Yep.
What is that?
That's with that's when he got criticized for doing too much martial arts in his movies. So he tried to do a little more mainstream. It's him and Lou Gossett Jr.
I don't remember that one, but come on. Lone Wolf McQuade? That's one of the best movies ever made. It's got a wolf in it.
David Carradine is the problem I have. I'm not a David Carradine fan. And
yeah, okay,
him as a bad guy
is like the worst bad guy ever.
Yeah.
And he's like got the dumbest pants in the world on, but he does dumb things. But he has a Mac 10 in that movie, and it's just like he's the
I would
most
rather
bad.
watch The Octagon.
Octagon is wicked also, but Lone Wolf McQuade is amazing. I just have to glitch out the bad guys, the little short guy, and then that guy, the two horrible bad guys. I don't know. It's because it was Golden Globus or whoever. Like they made that movie for like $15.
Yeah.
I don't know. I should go back and watch a bunch of Chuck Norris movies though, but I haven't watched them all in a while. I don't know what Supernatural is. Is that the vampire one?
I think it's got all kinds of like vampires and werewolves and stuff.
Yeah, whenever something's 10 series or 10 seasons long, you pretty much have to buy the whole like thing, or else you're just going to be frustrated as hell not seeing all of it.
The Octagon has Sho Kosugi, not David Carradine. It's a better movie. Although the voiceover parts are kind of annoying. Sakura, I know you're out there. And I watched a biography of Sho Kosugi. It's kind of interesting that when he was a kid, he had bad health. That's why he got into martial arts. He was not a ninja in real life. He just did karate, and then kind of got into doing movies and stuff. Abigail said, I want nickel-plated Taurus PT99s with pearl grips because of Supernatural. And Supernatural is two brothers fight demons. I keep seeing clips on YouTube. When I'm going through shorts, there's shorts of Supernatural, but I've never watched an episode. Supernatural.
I'm thinking of Twilight, probably.
Those are the sparkly vampires in Washington. 15 seasons is Supernatural. So it was on for a while. And Mr. Bob, I think he's saying that the rifle he was talking about is a Winchester 92 clone. And they had a badass Chevy Impala and sweet arsenal of pistols and rifles, including a .45 Peacemaker that was the ultimate demon killer. Demon Abigail's said demon, skinwalkers, angels, Wendigo, werewolf, Jinn, and a few other things. They fight Loki in one episode. Oh, I get a little gun shy because I'll see clips of stuff, and even if it's something that I've seen before, you see clips of stuff and it looks good, but those are the good parts. So when you go back and then watch the show or the movie, you realized why you didn't like it.
Did you watch Buffy?
No,
I'm
I
sure
saw the
Disney-
movie. I kind of liked the movie, but I never watched the TV
Oh, they're
series.
different, of course, but the movie's pretty awesome too. I don't think it's either or, but they are different. But I was just going to say that's sort of a. I mean, you understand when it was on or whatever. Like it was on for a long time or whatever, and it started off one way, and it was on so long that it. What do they call that when like the fans sort of keep it going and give it direction, and whatever the fans like, they add more of, and what the fans don't like, they get rid of. So it kind of, adapts. So I wasn't watching it religiously or nothing, but I would watch it in whatever it was on, and I can see, again, like somebody that starts watching something that's that long, that would get into the different characters and all that.
Saw an interview with a TV producer. He was kind of saying that usually about 5 years is what a show will do. If it's a successful show, because that's when you start running out of ideas. Your characters have done everything. So usually about the 5-year mark.
You probably have to deal with like some kind of situation arc with like actors getting sick of doing something. They don't want to be labeled that for their whole career. Right.
So when the writer for Gilligan's Island pitched the idea to the studio, they weren't sold on the idea. That they didn't think he'd even have enough ideas for a season. So he went back the next day, just overnight. Apparently, had written enough ideas to do the show for I think it was 10 seasons.
Nice. That's how you keep a job, or that's how you land a job, right? Like just
right.
Oh, that's your concern? Let me finish. Let me get rid of that concern for you.
Abigail said, I know it was we'll go back. Mr. Bob said, I believe so, Abigail. It's a beautiful ride. Who doesn't like customized trunk? And Abigail said, I know she was a 67 Impala, but the motor was a small block. I know it was in the 300 CI range. It's probably like a 327 or something. If it was small block. I don't know. It was 327 or 350. I mentioned it before. My buddy with the 65 El Camino with the 327. I think it was pretty sweet, pretty fast.
I had a 72, but it was a straight 6, so it wasn't super fast.
Yeah, I don't know the Chevy straight 6s. I know that I had when I got my 69 Dart, it had the slant 6, the 225 slant 6, which sounds small, but it's pretty torquey little motor.
Yeah, I mean, it moved the car around, but it looked like a little tiny joke when you open up compared to it was made to hold a 350 or probably bigger even, but a little tiny engine in there. It looked weird inside of the big engine bay. But it did move the car around. It got around town. It's probably good for saving gas or whatever.
Then I pulled that motor and put in a 318. Had to change the cross member too, but Mr. Bob said this Chevy came with a 250 cubic inch turbo Thrift 6 and 283 inch turbo Fire V8 as a base model.
They're talking about some car from a TV show.
Yeah. I think it was an Impalia. Yeah, 67 Impala.
I had a 72, one of those too. Made it look like it was a giant four-door car, like a giant rectangle. It's pretty awesome. Did not get good gas mileage. That one had a 350 in it. They could haul ass. Well, it couldn't go as fast as like a race car, but it could go. It's probably one of the faster cars I had. Could it go faster in my cop car? I don't know if it could go faster in the cop car. Probably not. But it felt like you were going really fast.
I don't know. I've never owned any super fast cars. I would think the one I have now would probably be the fastest because it's got the most horsepower. I don't know what my because I've had a different 318s, and the one in the Satellite, I rebuilt the motor, bored it 40 over, but I don't. It was an older 318, or well, I guess a newer 318, because the older ones had more horsepower. So it probably altogether is like only like 200 horsepower, maybe. My Honda now is with the V6 is what 289 horse, something like that. I know the V6 in the 500 that I used to have was 2 something, but it had a limiter. So when you got up to, I think 115, then it would limit your speed. It'd screw with it had a rev limiter, so it kind of go to keep you from going faster. But it was a comfortable car. That's what DJ has. That's what he drives. It's a Ford 500. Abigail said my BMW 325i was pretty quick. The battery sucked though. Oh, Mr. G Webs. Oh, Mr. G Webs.
He just stepped out to get water.
Oh, did he? Oh, well, I never see the private chat. I always miss that. It's over there on my screen.
Over there.
I never noticed it. Well, since you're talking, Gary.
Yo.
Plug something.
Oh, geez.
Plug it hard.
Let's see. Guns of Barbecue has a heck of a channel. You should go. Check it out. And he's got all kinds of cool stuff on the Instagrams and the Facebook too. Photography channels, and man, he's just a man of many talents. I'll tell you what. You should check out all his enterprises. If he's awake, he may not be. I may be the only woke panelist in here. And I'm not woke. Oh, he is awake.
You're far too kind, Gary. Thank you.
So Oops, let me do. There we go. There's a link for Guns and Barbecue if you want to go check out his channel.
Thank you for that, Puss.
Oh, you're welcome.
I guess that means I have to start making content again.
You should.
Yeah. I did find my lavalier mic that Slider decided to hide. So literally just today I found it. So I can't use that excuse anymore because that was one of the things that was preventing me from making any videos. Was every time I tried, my audio was, oh my gosh, just horrendous. So after I would record stuff, I was like, nope. So now that I found my lavalier mic finally, I'm gonna start getting some stuff out.
Oh, that usually happens to me, but it's just the content is bad. I've got a few reviews that I did, went back, edited them, watched it. It's like, oh, this is shit. I'm not putting this out. This is terrible. Terrible. Yeah, and on the Instagrams, you've got the Blind Guy Photography.
Yes.
And what's the other one?
1791 photo.
1791 photo.
Did they have photos in 1791?
I think they were paintings then, but
Oh, okay.
Yep.
For a blind guy, he takes very, very good photographies.
Yes, for a blind guy. But for a sighted person, they still suck.
Are you back?
Hard on yourself now.
I am my own worst critic.
Yeah. What are we doing the bracket now?
No, you're gonna plug something. You're gonna tell people what you're doing and why they should watch your fabulous channel.
I'm going to be starting a Wednesday night look back where we're going to get together, light candles, drink tea, warm tea, and just sob. Maybe think about the old days where we would get together on Wednesdays and try to get through this thing together. We can do it.
Well, I'll probably be sleeping. So,
but thanks for hosting all these times. Well, I guess we got one more, but thanks for hosting all these times on Wednesdays. It's cool to have something to do in the middle of the night.
Yeah, it'll probably. I don't know. We haven't been doing this one for too long. It's only been
300 years.
100 years. This is 113 chats. So it'll probably feel weird not to be doing it, but the times they are a changing.
Yes, they are.
So no chat Sunday. The next chat will be the next Wednesday, which will be the last Wednesday chat. And then there'll be an overnight, and then from then on, it'll just be every Saturday for chats. I think I'm going to call it the overnight mouse party. Kind of combine the overnight and the mouse parties.
Ooh.
There was something I was going to put a poll up for. Something I wasn't sure about the chats, but I don't remember what I was unsure of.
Forget to take your meds.
Yeah. I think I took too many is the problem.
Oh, I thought you just couldn't get your poll up.
No. But there, just want to say thank you to those that were in the. Mr. Bob said with 37% more brackets. Thank you to those that were in the side chat, chatting it up. If you're watching, didn't say anything, don't be afraid to speak up. Let me know you're out there. I appreciate you being there. And if you watch this in replay, leave a comment. Anything we talked about, agree with, disagree with. I read all the comments. They are always appreciated. I do appreciate you. So other than that, hope everybody has a good rest of the night and go do something good.